My mom told me not to talk to strangers on the internet, but I'm glad I didn't listen. We are the Certified Nunas, your sisters in the love of Asian entertainment.
Hi, I'm Jessie.
I'm Natalia, and that's it, baby.
That's it. It's just
that's
us.
It. It's just us two. Because guess what? We came up. Okay. As you know, if you've been listening to this podcast for any length of time, there's two members of this podcast that watch more of the darker themed things that perhaps the other two don't quite enjoy. And then it used to be, we were like, oh, we'll occasionally put out like a special episode.
Yeah, with our little murder
subunit. But then we were like, bitch, why don't we just put it on main?
Yeah.
So
we just kicked them out.
Yeah, we're like, take a week off. Don't worry about it. So anyway, this is the inauguration of what we're calling the hit list.
Yes.
Which will
our main episode.
And what will the hit list entail? We got murder. We got cults.
Ooh. Yeah, we're big on cults.
We got crime. Ooh, we got fucked up shit.
Yeah, we got monsters.
Oh, yes, monsters. We got all that good stuff that, like, you know, the other two just aren't that into, you know, and it's fine.
Yeah,
so
it's fine.
For the,
that's why we're not subjecting them to
that's why we're like, okay, I know that you don't like blood, but have I got
this show for you.
So anyway, this week we're talking about Connect. We did mean to talk about it sooner than now, but like life. Yeah. So it has been out for a while, but you know what? It doesn't matter. We can talk about whatever we want. It's our podcast. You're listening to this for free. Don't worry about it.
I mean, like, some people might be like us too.
They might be like, we find.
I mean, like, I think you actually watched it.
Yeah, I watched it. I watched it at the end of December. So at the beginning of January. Like I finished it. January
that I was like on top of all the news for it for like that full year, and then just
waited. It's fine.
You were mental health just really like puts a damper on things, doesn't it?
It really truly does.
It really messes up my plans, and I don't like it.
Not a fan. Not a fan, you know? But it's okay. So you can just come hang out with us with two mentally ill girls who love murder, you know? It's a good fun time.
There you go.
So we're talking about Connect. It's on Disney Plus in Canada and Hulu in America. I'm okay. I'm gonna be real. I know that Disney is now putting out, like, they're finally releasing all of these K-dramas that were like Disney Plus. I'm surprised this one was put out in such a timely manner.
Really surprised. However, it is a Takashi Miike production. So I think that might have just been in his stipulation in his contract. You do not hold me back. You do not put me in a corner.
He's like, listen, I've made hundreds of things. I am prolific.
This is what I'm known for.
Yeah.
Like, internationally, you don't put me behind a corner. Yeah.
No. And we are led into a very fucked up little story here. So
I guess we should like start with like, we're definitely going to go into spoilers.
Yeah. So if you haven't watched it yet and you plan on watching it, pause, go watch it. It's not that long.
It's only 6 episodes.
It's
fine.
Episodes. I think come back and listen. If you have seen it or you aren't planning on watching it and you just want to listen to us chat because you enjoy having some people chat with you on your commute or whatever, welcome. We're going to spoil. I don't know when the spoilers will happen, but it'll probably be
very random with our spoilers.
It'll probably be pretty early. So this is your one and only warning.
You're back out now.
That you can leave now if you don't want to be spoiled about anything. Anyway, welcome to the world of Connect, where we are first introduced to the saddest of sacks.
Oh yeah,
our lead,
our little sweet bean,
Dong Soo. He's just a dude. He's just walking. Now, this is sort of
dude just walking.
Yeah, like he's just walking down the street.
I mean, that's true. Yeah.
The first little bit. Okay, I just did one little anecdote because I was so taken aback. Because when you first start watching a show, you don't know what you're about to witness.
Yeah.
I didn't realize even though I had watched other things that were subtitled, I didn't realize that Disney Plus had automatically turned it to the English dub.
Oh no!
But the first thing is just, so he's just walking down the street. He doesn't say anything. It's just like music, right? And he's just like in an alley. This could be an alley anywhere. So I don't know where this is set. I don't know where this man is. We're literally 30 seconds in, and then this like black van like slides up, and this guy opens the door, and then starts speaking in English. But like at this point, I don't know if like he's just, randomly speaking in English. But I was like so taken aback that it was in English that I was like, wait, what? And then I was like, no, wait, you should just double check. You should just double check that this is. Anyway, it turns out he was supposed to be speaking Korean the whole time. And this man that sidles up to him is an organ harvester. Mm-hmm. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun. And kidnaps our poor little sad sack. Mm-hmm. And the next we see, he done be nude. He done be nude in an organ harvesting basement. It's basically like a basement of like what appears to be a Chinese restaurant.
Think about like if you thought of an organ harvester, it's that.
It's that. And he's like, not today, motherfuckers. Like, surprise! He like wakes up even though he was dead, and all of his organs start reassembling themselves. And to the vast surprise of the elderly doctor, I say in quotations, a doctor who done be harvesting them organs. Mm-hmm. And then he flies out the window, little patoot to the wind, and he takes off, but has left an eye behind. He has left
last eye. It's just like Cinderella, or
a classic tale. Busting naked through that window. Saw way more butts in this than I was expecting to see on this show.
Like, I knew, to be honest, it was going to be this way, but I still, in my head, there was still that, this is Disney.
This is Disney. This is Disney. This is a K-drama. Disney K-drama. Why am I seeing butts in the first 5 minutes? Like, I was just like, oh, it was a nice butt. Like, we can, we can be honest with ourselves. That's not the point, okay? That's not the point. Let's focus. So then he goes back to his sad sack life, now missing an eye and just wearing a crazy eye patch.
They have those like
metal eye patch. This was a sick eye patch.
Ventilation ones?
Yeah.
Or something. Yeah.
And he's just like, I just want to be a guitarist and sing my sad little songs on the internet. Like, work at the scrapyard. He's just like a nice dude. Like, he's literally just a nice dude who now is one eye down, and he's like, well, this sucks, but I could be dead, but I have
but wait, I can't
powers, so I can't die. Anyway, so then he's just going about his life, but then he starts seeing shit from the empty eye.
And unlike the two of us, he doesn't like murder.
No, he's okay. Oh, let's quantify that. I don't want this clipped out of context now. We like fictional murder. We don't condone literal murder.
He is not a horror lover, let's say. Like, that's not what he wants to be watching.
He just wants to just live a peaceful life with his many plants that he has in his shitty little apartment, and
with his favorite song.
Yeah, hanging out with the old man at the scrapyard, the sweet old man, like just living his best life. But he done be seeing fucked up shit.
Yeah,
is happening in this. Whoever got this eye, fucked up shit is going down. Meanwhile, this beautiful statue of this naked woman appears at a cross section. It's just somewhere in Seoul. This beautiful carved statue, and everyone's like, "Oh my goodness, look at this beautiful nude art installation." We saw so much more nudity in this than I was expecting we were going to see. I don't know if I can listen. If you're anti-nudity, this might not be the horror for you. But if you're anti-nudity, you're probably also anti-horror.
You haven't seen Hit the Spot yet, right?
Yeah. No, I have.
Okay.
Oh, I have. I have. Listen, what I'm saying is, I'm not anti-nudity.
I know. I was just very clear when you're putting into context of Disney K-drama.
Yeah. And you're just like, oh, some titties. Okay. Like, whatever.
I mean, I'll take it, but
turns out this was not a statue.
Mm-hmm.
This was a resined up dead lady. Still like it was a pretty good resin job. Like,
yeah,
from like an artistic point of view, very talented sculptor here, but fucked up. What
I find is really funny about this scene is that, Natalia knows this, but my parents are kind of obsessed with a certain TV show. And it's this Canadian TV show. Which is
Mysteries. It's the greatest Canadian TV show ever made. I think so.
What's hilarious about it is one of the like last episodes that I watched of it was literally the premise was that the murder was like putting people into statues. And I was like, what's going on?
Whoa.
I was like waiting for Murdoch to show up.
There's a few too many Cascamontillos going on here. Oh boy. But no, so there's a serial killer done murdering people and sticking them in statues, you know? Yeah. Beautiful artistic, beautiful statues. Mm-hmm. We're then led to our second lead, a mild-mannered office worker. Or is he?
He's a little off.
He's like, listen, like, you're sure? Okay, Go Kyung Pyo is very good looking. Okay, yes. I need to start this off by saying he's very good looking.
Absolutely.
But even if I was encountering someone that good looking and he was as weird as he is in this, I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, I want to get with this guy.
Like the guy that you're attracted to in the office.
No, like, but yet somehow.
I get paired up with him all the time, and he's a jerk.
Yeah, he's fucking weird. Like, you'd be like, this guy's fucking weird. But apparently there is a girl she's into that. And she's like, I want to fuck you. And he's like, bet. Okay. So they have they'd be fucking.
Yeah.
And she sees some shit. She sees some
just that classic thing.
It's just a classic. She looks through his diary, and it is fucked up. It's fucked up. Meanwhile, our poor sad sack, he's seeing this man doing these things. So he's like, I'm gonna save this girl. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go save her. You know, there's one thing about this show that then just happens that I'm like, I know that this is the most realistic part of this show is then he then tries to go help her. Mm-hmm. But because he only has one eye, everyone's like, oh, creep, can't be near him. Even though he is doing nothing creepy. He's just like, hey, I'm looking for this person. I have to warn them about something. And everyone's like, oh, you only have one eye, you fucking weirdo. And it's just like, he's just disabled, guys. Like, calm the fuck down. And I just remember being like, yeah, this is accurate, unfortunately. Like,
sadly.
This is on a show about a man who can never die. If he's cut in half, his body just reheals. And
it's like, it's still Jung Han. Like, he's still very good looking.
Yeah, too. So like, he's like, but he's not weird. Like, this is the funniest part about this.
He's kind of just like just a normal guy. He's just
a dude. He's just a dude. He's like, you can tell he's poor and you can tell he's quiet, but he's just a dude. And so it's like, why is this one good looking guy who's not weird being treated like a weirdo when this other good looking guy who is weird, no one notices? Whatever. Anyway, that goes wrong. She doesn't listen to him. Meanwhile, we got two other elements going into this situation. One is, well, technically three, but the third one, not that important. One is that the gangsters, the organ harvesters, they be still after him because they're like, magic organs?
Sign me up.
Money. Okay. And then you've got a cop who's like, some weird shit's going down. I gotta solve these serial crimes, these moitas. I'm gonna do it. He has real, like, I'm 1 week from retirement energy to him. Very much like, so. I'm too old for this shit.
He's an older cop. He keeps on getting nosebleeds, so, like, clearly they're indicating something that, like either the job is too stressful or he's like,
every time sick. I get a nosebleed, that means I'm on the right track. Like, no, it means you probably have a tumor in your fucking nasal cavity, but, like, go off. And then we also have a girl who's, like, looking for mutants, essentially. But
she's a writer.
Yeah, she's a writer. She's in quotations, who's looking for mutants that they call connects. I don't really get the name. I get the name because, but I don't connect. Like, they can, yeah, but, like,
it's the physical, like, way that the, like, your
limbs regenerate.
And they connect back together because they're very tentacly.
It's very eldritch horror.
They didn't look to see. I probably should have, like, the regular, the Hangul, and see if it's, like, a different. Like, it's just, like, it's weird.
Like, it is. This is adapted from a webtoon, and you can really tell.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's very horror webtoon in its.
And it like purposely stays in its webtoon-ness.
Yeah. So it's a little. There's point. Okay, so, like, I feel like as I was watching it, I feel like if you are unfamiliar with, like, this style of webtoon horror, which is, like, a very popular type of webtoon horror, this would seem silly to some people, I think, but, like, it works for, like, what it was trying to do. It was exactly doing it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So then, shit starts going down as all of these things connect. Knees lever with old Natalia.
Oh yeah. I mean, like, I guess it's also, like, referring to that too.
Like, everything connects.
Well, like, the connection,
and all the connection between the eye and the
yeah. But I mean, like, the mutant race is that's their, like, known name. Yeah.
Now I gotta say, I thought that while Jung-hae did a great job, Go Kyung Pyo really fucking stole the show on this one. He really was wild.
He was, because, like, you had so many different parts to him. So he was that weird office worker guy. Like, I mean, to the point where, like, he had a taped out line on his desk that people couldn't cross. And he was,
listen, maybe he's just OCD.
Yeah.
Like,
but I mean, like, I'm saying, like, that type of person. And then, like, him when he's, like, attacking people. And then his, like, because he, like, you see him start to even devolve, like, throughout the series till the end, where he's literally, like, going fully crazy.
Yeah.
Because of him wanting to, like, basically when he starts to, like, specifically try to go after Dong Soo is when he just, like, really is, like, just going crazy. And those parts were phenomenal.
And also, like, because, so basically his character is also terminally ill. So he's about to die. And so him playing this deranged desperation to not die was fucking insane. It was so good. Like, I know that everyone knows him from all of his vast, wonderful rom-com roles, and he's fantastic at those. But holy shit.
I mean, there are, like, parts where he's, like, it's just him just breaking down, and it's just, like, him with this, like, internal monologue going on, and just the way that he's even just expressing it is just so good and so creepy. So
good.
And it's like real horror creepy, even with this, like, whole connection, like, business going on, like, and this regeneration. It's just, like, because he is, I mean, like, mostly, like, the whole show is kind of like the, like, standard genre of where this, like, you have the monster who is anybody who's a connect. And then,
but who's the real monster?
But, like, the real monster is, like, the person who's just
just the regular human who's a psychopath. Like, You know, because that's the classic monster tale, right? Like it's all the way back to like friggin' Frankenstein, right? Like Frankenstein's monster is not the real monster. Like, ooh, like that's the tale as old as Frankenstein. Thank you, Mary Shelley, for really giving us just an absolute endless genre that people have built on. That's right. Sci-fi came from a woman. You heard it here first. Actually, no, you probably heard it. I hope you did. I hope you heard it before now. Like, if you're the first, if this is the first time you're hearing this, welcome. Women invented science fiction and computer programming. But I digress. And Wi-Fi. Okay. Yes. Okay. Moving on. So the just the absolute like unhinged performance that he put on was mind-bogglingly good. Like it was stunning. We were all here for it. And I also really thought that Kim Hee-jun, who played the writer in quotes, who, big spoiler alert, also a Connect. That's why she was looking, because she was pretending to be a journalist to find Connects.
Yeah, she's trying to get like them all together is the basic thing.
I always really like her because she shows up playing these sort of very bizarre characters a lot of the time. Like she was in Inspector Coup as she played. Minor spoiler, you find out pretty early. She plays a serial killer in Inspector Coup, and she had that same sort of like. She has a very innocent looking face, but then will deliver some of the most fucked up lines you've ever heard.
It's also she looks so young, and she's not that young.
No,
like she's like 28 or something, and she looks born in 95. Legitimately like she's 15.
Yeah,
like it's that. I think that's also kind of like what it throws you off a bit, because it's like not that you can't like look at her and not like see a 28-year-old. It's just like it's in this
she's very
area where you're
youthful. Like. You're like, is she? Isn't she?
Yes,
and
what's
so
going on?
She's then delivering all these lines that are very like supremacy, like might is right sort of stuff. Where she's like, I don't see why we have to live by human rules because we're better than humans. And meanwhile, Jung Hae-in's character, Dong-soo, is like, I just want to play my guitar. I don't want to be better than humans.
Watch these things in my eye.
And I don't want to be a part of this.
Like my one favorite musician.
I just listen. My one favorite musician just found my song on YouTube and loved it. And this is like the pinnacle of my life. And now I have to deal with this bullshit. Like I was just walking home, man. I was just walking home from the fucking scrapyard. Just go water my plants. This is bullshit. You really feel for him, because I feel like there's a lot of really unrelatable characters in this show. Like Go Kyung Pyo's character, the serial killer, I hope is a very unrelatable character to most people out there. Like Kim Hee-jun is unrelatable to most people except for supremacists, because like you're like, I don't really think that one superior race should rule over everyone else, if you get my drift. The cop, he's like kind of relatable as just sort of like, okay, cop relatable. And then you've got these organ harvesters, which I also hope aren't that relatable to people, but then you have poor Dong-soo, who's just a guy.
Yeah.
Who's just a guy. And struggling.
Yeah, well, I guess that's what they like intentionally did with the show, because you don't know that Irang is the Connect for a very long time. So, like, you have him being constantly called a monster, and they show kind of his like growing up and how everybody was scared of him and that sort of thing. And like, but like you're most relatable to the one person who is the monster at a certain point, and you're like, oh, okay, I see what this is.
I do really enjoy that there was like so he gets constantly called a freak and a monster, even though he's just a guy. So like, and you would think that would make him hate people, but he shows time and time again that he really doesn't. And I think there's like really one scene that really articulates his character very well. And that is the scene where he's trying to defend the old man at the scrapyard that he works at, from like the organ harvesters who
they've come for him, and they've like are using him, the scrapyard guy, as a like a tool.
And so like he just fucking goes feral because he's so upset about this that he just fucks them up.
It's so good.
They did not know.
They have him tied up, and like there's just this one part where he decides he's gonna get out of the ties by turning on the table saw and just cutting.
Nasty as shit.
So good. I was like, oh. But what's like great about that scene is that how it ends with the scrapyard guy.
Yeah, so then he looks over, and at one point the scrapyard guy looks horrified by what he's seeing. And so you get this sort of this disappointment in, you know, the Dong-soo character, where he's like, well, I guess that this man, even though I'm saving his life, also thinks I'm a monster. And then the old man is like, run away. Like, I'll lie to the police. I won't tell them you were here. Like, take care of yourself. Like, you're a good man. You're a good man. And it's just right. And it's like the only person who actually cared about him as a human.
Not true.
Well, okay, yes, but
police officer.
Yeah, the police officer does too later on. But like the police officer also trying to arrest his ass for most of this. But like it's the first person who actually helped him just to help him. Not because they wanted him to save them from dying or to join their weird fascist crusade against humanity.
He was the character who was like closest to a family member to him. Like they don't show a lot of the scenes with them. That there's like this one really sweet moment where they're in the scrapyard together and his favorite song starts to play. And the guy is like, oh, isn't this your favorite song? You're always humming it. And it's like, it's a very sweet moment. Of course, it like, this is also when you're starting to realize that their connection, or when he's able to see what the other guy is doing, is through this song.
Yeah. Which then became a viral sensation. So every time they hear the song, he done sees.
He's like, another art piece. God.
I thought that for 6 episodes, they crafted quite an elaborate tale for such a short period of time.
I really liked it because it was, it would have been like interesting to see more about the Connect, but since like, or like, you know, how it came to be, but it just became such like we're only using this as a device for why you two are together. But in a way that was so great for me. Like it was just like so much fun to watch it, because then it just became about Dong-soo just trying to make sure that people aren't dying and to get back his eye. And that was like this like plain simple like story. He just wants his life to go back to normal. He just wants to like do the same things over and over like any other person on Earth. What I love, kind of like thrown into this like for this.
What I love is that like his motivations are so simple, but the stakes are so fucking high at all times. And I really enjoyed like the interplay of basically Go Kim Pyo's character Jin Sup using his morality against him. Like because he's like, listen, like you could just walk away and watch me murder these children, or what are you gonna do? You gonna let these little kids get murdered? Or are you gonna come give me some of that sweet body parts? Like you could spare a couple body parts. Don't fucking worry about it. Like, are you gonna walk away and be safe, or are you gonna come save this musician that I have tied up and I'm torturing? He's your favorite artist. He doesn't deserve any of this. Like, and it's just so deranged that it like, so these very simple motivations of, I just want to live a normal life. I just want people to leave me alone. and I just want my goddamn eye back. Becomes like, it's a very simple trajectory. He's like, I don't know why everyone is so mean to me. I just want my eye back. Like, I wasn't calling the cops on these organ harvesters. I wasn't getting in anyone's business. I just want my fucking eye back. Is that such a crime?
I do think that like Jung Hae-in did a really good job in that aspect. Like, I feel like his character may be like on the surface like a little boring in a way because of that, but I think that the way that he represented it was really good, because he could have been like more like sad sack, like, but he just came off as like more of like, I'm just a genuinely sweet guy who just genuinely wants to just have a comfortable life,
and who had a bad
I wasn't the one who like made me the way I am, and I'm having to live with that already, so why do I also have this other thing on top of it happening to me? But I also can't like not let, like, I can't let these children die or this girl die or something, and I have to do something, even though I know for a fact that the only thing that I have for me is that I can regenerate. Like, that's
technically,
it. Like, I don't have any
die.
Like, you know, I don't have any skills to do that, but like still wanting to do that. And I think he like did it good in that role, because I think it could have gotten a little bit weird. Like, it could have gotten just like boring or like just like annoying in a way too. Like, you could have been like, oh, God, he's complaining again or something, or just smile, like, just come on, stop.
And it could have also gone in a totally different way, where suddenly he's like a commando, like super soldier, been, like,
super change. The change that happens gradual. At the end is gradual, and it's like a kind of his like more like breakout, but it was so well done in that it was still reserved. It was still reserved at that point in time.
He didn't suddenly become the Terminator. You know what I mean?
And he didn't suddenly become like a super angry person too. Like, that's not who he was. And I really do like that point. Like, when he's like starts to like go after Jin Sup, it was done in such a good way because it wasn't so over the top. And this show is so over the top in other things. Like, like Takashi Miike is like known for blood and gory stuff, and also bizarrely
children's movies is the other thing he makes, which I think is fucking hilarious.
But like you see that, like, so you go in, if you've ever like watched any of the movies, you could tell like right away that like this was his. But I just love that, like, it was just like this backdrop of like blood and gore, and then you have like Dong-soo just being like this sweet guy,
being like, why are these teenagers being so mean to me? Like, I'm just going to work. You're just like, why is everyone
right? Why are they?
Like, because at this point, all you see is a man who lost an eye, right? If you don't know that he's a superhuman, he's just a dude who probably had eye cancer and needed to get an eye removed, and everyone's treating him like he's some fucking leper. And I'm just like, my guy, come on.
I don't know if you picked this up, and I don't know if it was like purposely done. So I don't know if this is something that I was just like in the beginning. Did you get the sense they were trying to make it look like they were both the same person at the very beginning?
Yeah, just
because
a little
it was
bit.
Like, I started to realize, I was like, I've never once thought they looked similar. And during the first couple of episodes, like, I thought they looked so similar. And so it was like to the point where like I was like, is it supposed to be kind of more of like a dual role than it is? Because at that point you like don't get like the severity, or like you don't know where it's going to be, because it could be something where it's like his alter ego is actually who it is, because they're never in the room together. So like you're like, oh, maybe it's something weird like that. But like they looked similar. Like, it looked
different.
Like,
like they could. Like,
I mean,
they
the
could
eyes, one didn't have an eye and one did, but like it was like in this like weird area. It was like, if you like kind of looked, you're like, oh,
they could be brothers, not twins. You know, that sort of vibe. I feel like it sort of also helped that they were sort of being presented as a like dichotomy of human right now, because you've got the nicest guy and the least nice guy like reflect, so they're sort of like mirror reflections of each other, where one is constantly struggling to do the right thing and one is very gleefully doing the most horrific wrong things
and I guess that maybe imagine. Like in my head I was kind of like imposing that on kind of more of like a Jekyll and Hyde kind of way, where it still is the same person too, like maybe that's why it is, but I didn't know. I was like, because I've never once thought those actors looked alike, so that was what was like weird about
You're
it.
Like, whoa.
Why do I'm
looking at their photos on my drama list right now. They got some similarities there.
Got some similarities, like they do have the same like face shape. I think that's like the big, like their jaw and their
they got similar like, they got similar lips and stuff. Like I can see it, like,
and their haircuts are exactly the same in the show.
One just has like the styled version and one has the I just rolled out of bed version. And have hat hair version.
I don't have money.
I'm poor version. And I found that they did really reflect like that he was living with poverty without making it like that much. Like it's not like like so poverty that you're like, wow, how is this person even alive? Like it was believable. This is a blue collar worker. Like who is underpaid for what he does, but not, and just has a shitty life and couldn't afford to go to school type thing. And then you have rich psycho. Now I have some questions. Okay, here's where Natalia gets into the. He's like an office worker, and office workers get paid okay. They don't get paid well enough for that fucking torture dungeon.
They don't, but I guess it's possible that he just steals.
It's true. Or it came from money. We don't know.
Yeah, he also could just, it could be just that he came from money too.
Yeah. Because like he's got quite an elaborate lair going on for his art projects, as it were. But I think it's like not really explained how he transports these.
No, they really don't go into detail.
Because like he's like a sickly, dying, terminally ill patient, and he's like, I'm gonna bring
statues.
These are massive.
They're massive. They're like not just like the person. Like it's like it could be a person up on something with like a full base and that sort of thing. So it's like a huge thing. And they're not always in like remote places.
Yeah, too. And like sometimes they're just like right in the middle of a city street, and you're like, how'd this motherfucker
definitely
get this
didn't go into that.
How'd this motherfucker get this here? Because like if you resin a human body and then add others, that's gonna be thousands of pounds.
Yeah.
Like what? He just fucking like he has a pickup? Like what are you doing here? Do you have a flatbed? Like how are we doing this? Like do you have a dude? Do you have a dude that you call?
Those lifts, you know how they do like moving there where like they have a lift
that
goes up to the like the
Yeah, I need a moving company to transport my creepy ass statue to a remote location.
People transport anything,
like, I guess, but here's my thing though. If you're hired, okay, this is just Natalia. I'm in the weeds now. All right, I'm in the weeds. You're a guy with a flatbed and a forklift. Okay, You've been hired. Some guy's like, yeah, I want you to move my art statue. You're like, yeah, an art installation. I can fucking do that. Like, okay, I'll take, like here's $500. I'll bring your art statue and put it down where you want it. So you do this, you go about your business, you then go on the news, and you're like, did you see, like, this art statue was a dead fucking body. I'm calling the cops right then and be like, yo, some dude hired me to install that art statue. I wasn't involved in the murder.
But you might find my prints, but
here's the dude's information. Like, I don't want to be a part of this shit. I just feel like there's too many, like, okay, I get that I'm, like, looking way too deeply into this, because that's not the point.
And he also doesn't have time to.
Yeah. Yeah, he also doesn't have time to deliver these statues and not be caught. Like, because they're like, oh, well, he wasn't near where this place the statue was delivered.
And it's like CCTV, he would have already been caught easily with, like, the whole, like, killing 2 people up on the building.
On the roof.
Yeah.
Like, what? That's okay. Yes. So he kills 2 people up on the roof and then chucks them down, and then John Cayen's character, who is very clearly
like
downstairs
on the ground when someone's
when
like falling. Yeah.
He gets blamed for it because he's weirdo. So with one eye.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe they were trying to like make it look like they look enough that like he would be blamed because he looks. Yeah. But
I was like, my guy was like screaming about a murderer on the roof from the ground floor.
Yeah.
Like while the murder was happening. Clearly not your guy, you know? Like, but anyway. Cops are stupid. Cops are stupid. It's fine. And I do love that this was not propaganda because every once in a while you watch like a crime show like this and it's very much like cops are great. No.
Mm-hmm.
No.
It will say that like, okay, so like the main detective, he kind of comes around and he's definitely one of those like who's kind of like on the fence about this stuff, but he sees him do his connect thing. Like he sees him like connect body parts back together. So he's like, I believe it, right?
Yeah.
He does have that like, and it's a very standard like character type in K-dramas. It's like the older person who kind of becomes the mentor for the younger. So he does kind of become that at the end. So that's like kind of the only like cop really, because he like the cop is like believing him.
But it's less that this guy's a cop, and it's just this guy believes him. Like, that's
But he does do the thing where he's like, "Hey, don't kill this guy because then I'll have to arrest you."
Yeah, you know, he's like, I don't want to arrest you. Like, you're like a good dude.
Gonna, like, come after you or whatever. Yeah.
Because, like, you know, I'm also watching right now Through the Darkness, which is also not propaganda. Also not propaganda because guess who's the worst people on that show are cops. So
the male cops,
specifically. But listen, we've been new. ACAB motherfucker. We ACAB every day up in here. But yeah, no, this show is so good.
I also like that they don't like the cops are like in a normal annoying, like, you know, like
they're not stupid. They're not
stupid. Depth. They're obviously they'll be present. This is a big case. But they're not like overly present too. So you don't have like that kind of annoying, like on top of everything, he now has to like keep on hiding around the cops or something like that. So like, you know, that kind of exhausted thing that like a lot of cop shows or do where it's like the person's on the run and they have like something else going on where they're like battling with the actual main villain. And then on top of it, they've got the cops and you're like, this is exhausting. Like, just go away, cops. They didn't have that in this, which is like, really nice. It's like the cops came when they were supposed to come because like there are people dying and they're trying to solve like this serial killer case. So I did like that.
So I gotta give one other shout out on this show of like a performance that I thought was absolutely incredible, and that was Jung Suk Won as the gangster with the fucked up teeth with the axe.
Oh, okay, yes.
His teeth aren't actually fucked up in real life. That was like a mouthpiece. He has very normal teeth. He was killing it, literally and metaphorically, all through.
Literally with
that
axe.
He's the guy who speaks first in the show that was dubbed into English, and I was like, what the hell? Because I was like, I like recognize this guy. I don't think he speaks English. Like, he's been in all sorts of shit. Like, he was in Kingdom, he was in Bad Guys, he was in Circle.
There's a lot of like Kingdom people in this one, I think.
Yeah. He's been doing shit since 2008, but like, damn, he was as just an absolute, just gross human being. He was really bringing the noise, and I thought he did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
And also they pulled in Jiang Wang to play the doctor. He was also great as just a cowardly, ferrety old man who harvests organs from the people that they murder.
You know what I really liked about this show? Like, what? I don't know if you picked this up, but I did. If you like, the show is literally like they went up to Takashi Miike and was like, okay, so I want you to take an X-Files episode and the serial killer half of Criminal Minds,
yeah,
and put them together, and you put it in your style. This is that
show. What you get? It is that show.
Yeah,
it is. That's exactly what it is.
And it was like so totally my brand. I was like loving every second of it.
It was just, there were so many just absolutely incredible performances, and like for such a short little show, it really delivered everything it said it was going to deliver.
6 episodes, and they're like 45-minute episodes. I don't even think that. I think the credits are really long. Like, so it could be like closer to 40 minutes.
And I feel like if you watch this show for the 2 male leads and you're not really into weird webtoon horror, you're probably not gonna get it. Because it's one of those girls who get it, girls who don't sort of shows.
So it's like, hate it. You really think you're gonna hate it.
Yeah, like, so if you're
for one of those,
if it's not exactly the vibe that you like, if you don't like weird unhinged horror that probably doesn't make a lot of sense,
yes,
you're not gonna like it. And so
you have to be okay with gore. You just have to be. It's
not
a
like
lot.
Yeah, it's not like torture porn. Like there's, like, it's not like,
no, but I mean, like when someone falls off of a building, you see them explode. Like,
like it's I would say it's more Kill Bill levels of gore than it is like.
But I do think the general population, if you're just going in for like
like the general K-drama population, like this may not be what you're looking for.
No, not at all.
Because it is. It's
not his most gory, but like,
no,
it is,
but it is.
But I think
gory.
Like in terms of like K-dramas.
But what I sort of like about it is sort of it's a bit of a stylistic gore that, if you're not used to this style, may seem comedic at first. Just in the same way that, which is why I'm thinking of Kill Bill, because there's elements of Kill Bill that are very gory, but like they're so over the top that you're just like, okay, like.
I think also he's really good with his camera angles, and it could be seen by people as a little bit more like trying to make a really terrible thing pretty or like artistic sort of like, in that way, but that's not really what it is. I mean, like, he's trying to be artistic with his shots, but he's not like praising that this girl was literally like her neck broken. Like
this isn't like, if you've seen the TV show Hannibal, it's almost like that, but not like, listen. I fucking love the show Hannibal. It's such a good show, but it is deranged.
It is very deranged, but
like it's the same sort of gore that's except that this is not on a TV network, so they just went ham, right? Hannibal.
Well, I also think with the gore, he does a really good job with like there's like the gore that's like the real gore, like the I'm killing people gore, and then there's the gore like I need to get out of these handcuffs gore, where like I'm gonna break off my hand, or like
I'm gonna lean into a table saw, like I'm gonna
like, so it's like there's a difference to it, and I think it like they play really well together. That sounds so weird, but like it's done well, and I think it's done more of like, this is Connect gore and this is real world gore. Like there's like kind of like this defining thing. And it is a little bit more over the top, but like the show in itself is not over the top. Like it's like everything that's going on for the world that they're living in is kind of true to it. It's serious and dark and deep.
Yeah, it's not goofy.
It's not
like
it's
never
he's like,
silly.
Ha ha ha, table saw. But like, it's like over the top, but like, I just think that the show does really well with that.
I think so. I think it does as well. I agree. So if you were to rate this show, Jessie, what are you giving?
I rated it high. I rated it 9.5 out of 10 on my drama list. Which is,
I don't actually remember what I rated it, and for
very, very high for me.
For some reason, I'm not signed into my drama list right now, but I can I can sign in and we can
always like
sign up. No, I want to
like
sign in. Out. Yeah, I want to sign in. Thank you. I was like, wait a second. Okay, let's go. Connect. Let's see. I rated it a 9.5 out of 10. Look at this. Look at us.
I honestly think out of like, I know like this is our like new series, but if you took all of our like past like subunit episodes,
this very predictable rating.
Very like top.
Yeah.
Okay. Not top, but like top in what we've actually put out as an episode.
Yeah. Well, like, okay, like I did really love All of Us Are Dead.
Oh, I did too, but I like Connect better than All of Us Are Dead.
I think they're about equal for
me.
Did
we recorded an episode of Happiness. We didn't put it out yet because it's
coming.
Weird. It's like coming. Maybe we should. You know what we should do? We should just like rewatch it.
Let's just rewatch Happiness and then
re-record it. Yeah. Okay. So maybe that's gonna be our one of our new subunit ones.
Yeah. Yeah. For some reason, I never put that I watched All of Us Are Dead.
Oh, weird.
That is weird because I watched All of Us Are Dead twice. Bizarre. Well, anyway, just because we did a whole episode about it. So I also rated All of Us Are Dead 9.5 because I just rated it right now. But yeah, I agree. The 9.5 is like, it's such a good show. If you like this sort of thing, you will like this show.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
It's a gory, fun, horrifying time.
If you're into the director, definitely check this out. It is his first foray into Korean. If you watch this show and you're like, I really like it, definitely recommend some of his other work. Audition, you've probably heard of, and it's one of my favorite horror movies. It's fantastic.
Yeah. And if you are just into the two main actors, you can skip this one.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Don't force yourself.
Don't force yourself. This, you can go watch them in less deranged media.
They're both still doing stuff.
They're both still very active.
They're both out of the military. You're good.
Yeah, like they got stuff coming down the pipeline. You don't need to worry about it. Like, just
wait a little. Rewatch one of his old stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry about it. You can move on. Anyway, thank you for joining us for the hit list, which is what we're now going to be calling these episodes from now on, because they're going on main. So welcome to the sort of, but not really, inaugural episode of the hit list. We hope you enjoyed sitting here listening to us today. You can listen to us if you want to listen to our episodes pretty much wherever podcasts can be found, but you should also go to our YouTube channel and subscribe to that, because we have live streams every week, and they're super fun. And we put all of our episodes up there as well. And you can also find all of our episodes with links to everything we talk about and time codes on certifiednunas.com, our home on the web. If you want to support this podcast, you can go to patreon.com/certifiednunas to become a member of the Certified Found family. It's our family on the web. They're great. They support this podcast. They keep the lights on, etc., etc. We have fun times. They get little extras and all sorts of good stuff over there. And they also get special badges on our free-to-join Discord server that you should definitely come join. It is free, even if you are not a member of the Found family. You can come talk K-dramas, K-pop, C-dramas.
Yeah, come C-pop. Even if you don't like Discord, we'll help you out.
Yeah, we'll help you out. It's like a super friendly community. Yeah. It's a super friendly community, and I think our Discord is very well organized. You can figure out where stuff is, and you can meet people who just want to talk about the K-dramas, and it's a real chill time. We have very strict be cool rules. Yeah. So if anyone's being uncool, don't worry. We're on top of that. So you don't have to worry about that sort of thing, if that was your worry. Anyway, you can find us still on social media. We're still there. Twitter. We're still on Twitter. It's for now.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see how long we get it.
Old Muscatinas. We'll see.
He's trying, we'll see. But
and we're on Instagram and all those. It's always at Certified Nunas. How you find us. Anyway, we hope you have a fantastic week. As always, as we always say, wash your hands, wear a mask, and keep enjoying Asian entertainment. Goodbye.
Bye.